Morning, everybody. Today we will be speaking with Phil Heycock, supporting actor on Sanditon seasons 2 and 3. He has danced on stage and appeared in productions of Fiddler on the Roof and Half a Sixpence. He is now retired from finance, where he had worked for 27 years in senior roles in the public sector. He lives in Somerset, very close to the beach where the Sanditon beach scenes were filmed. He also attended many business meetings at Lehigh Court, where many of the Sanditon parties were filmed. He is currently treasurer for the Weston Supermare Operatic Society and has performed with them for over 25 years. He has also appeared as a supporting actor on Poldark, Silent Witness, and Father Brown. He is married with 2 grown children and 4 grandchildren.
Hey, there we go.
There you are.
We're in.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. We've got a horrendous rainstorm going on in the UK at the moment. It's like torrential rain outside, so apologies for the noise. I've got a window just above me.
Oh, it's okay. I can't,
Uh,
it's not coming through, so that's
oh,
good.
that's good. Cool,
That's good.
lovely.
So how are
Yeah,
you today? Obviously, you're
yeah,
staying inside.
yeah. I'm interested today now, so yeah, pretty good, thank you. Yeah, had a reunion yesterday with some friends back from teenage youth club, like 40 years ago. So that was really nice. We're a day up in the Cotswolds, um, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live. So yeah, that was a really nice day yesterday. Yeah,
Ah,
we
that
were.
sounds like quite the drive.
It was really nice actually. Half of it's on the motorway, and then the other half is through the Cotswolds. So we went past King Charles's country house at Highgrove, and the kind of little market town that Camilla likes to go shopping and things in. So yeah, it was really nice day. So
Oh my
yeah,
goodness. Listen
all
to
good,
you name
thanks.
dropping.
I can't compete with that. I'm afraid I can't. I, don't, I have actually met Prince Edward like many years ago. When I used to work in the hospital, and he came to open a new ward, I think it was, and we had a nice conversation over a cup of tea in the afternoon. And at the time, I was doing a theatre production which was set in Windsor Castle, of all places. So, and he's got a connection with theatre and things like that. So we were having like a nice chat about theatre stuff. So yeah, that was quite cool. I am name dropping. I'll stop now.
Oh, that's fine. But that sounds absolutely amazing. Um, so my first question is, this is a ever since I got your bio, I have been dying to ask you,
Okay.
how did you do all of those years in finance and theater? How did the two of those come about? Because they're so vastly different.
Yeah, I don't know really. I mean, I my first career was in banking until I was um, in my 30s, and I joined the National Health Service. I worked in a local hospital, and I retrained as an accountant because I'd quite a senior position. And when I kind of qualified, our lecturer said you can have massive amount of free time in your hands because you've been spending all these hours studying. I thought, what do I really want to do? And I had a young family at the time. I thought, well, actually, I want to do some stuff on the theatre. So I just auditioned and joined a local theatre group, and that was like 25 years ago. So I've been part of the local theatre scene ever since. Doing some things I never ever thought I would do in my life. My mum died when I was quite young, and I thought if she could see me now, all the things I've been doing, because they loved my mum and dad loved musical theatre, and I've done some amazing things in different shows. Never any main cast roles. I've always had small, supporting roles with some bits and pieces, but I had the most amazing fun time. So yeah, so in a week's time from today, we'll be setting up to do a production of Chess in our local theatre. And that runs for most of the following week after that. So I'm not on stage in this one, but I'm busy behind the scenes in this. So, and hopefully, I'm involved in the production of Oklahoma next year, next
Oh,
spring.
that's
So,
amazing. That's amazing.
I've
So
done the shows.
how long ago was it that you did the Fiddler on the Roof?
Oh, that was in Bristol. So that's when I was still working. So that was 6 years ago. Yeah, fantastic. I did the show many years ago in Weston-super-Mare, but the theatre in Bristol is a 2,000 seat theatre. It's like a big London theatre, Victorian theatre, and it was such good fun. And the director there gave us kind of put us in families. So I think I had something like about 5 or 6 children of varying ages, from little ones to grown-ups, and we became a real family, through the whole process. And then the picture I sent through to you from the Neil Brand show that is on BBC. We couldn't actually fit in a rehearsal fitted in with BBC schedule, so we abandoned the idea of getting involved in the production. So we did the show. My beard went back to life as normal, and then they said, actually, we somehow recreate as if you're gonna still do the show? So we had about a month or 2 months. So a beard was growing again. And then we went back and we just pretended we were rehearsing. So we lost a few people because of commitments. But yeah, that was good. And then the following year we did My Fair Lady, and then we did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That was the last one I did, and then COVID came in and things weren't the same afterwards. And
Yeah.
I live 20 miles from Bristol, so when I was working, it was easy to go to a rehearsal straight after work and then come home. But no, it's a long way to go to Bristol, so
Yeah.
I'm busy at home doing stuff.
So how did you get involved with Sanditon? Was there a posting or something that you saw that piqued your curiosity, or did somebody reach out to you?
I think the agency contacted me and said there was some filming coming up, and it was local, and it appealed, so I put my name forward. And then I did I was in season 2. I did a week when we had the army. I don't know if you can remember this in season 2, but there's like a games night where um, there's a lot of gambling going on, and the men are in a room doing gambling, and I was part of that scene, drinking port and sort of playing all the games and things.
You
And
were in that group scene when the army is marching in, right? Because I thought that I saw you in costume when they're coming down the main road and Tom's all excited about the army coming in. I believe that I saw you in one of
Yeah,
those scenes.
I was in
Okay.
that scene. I do remember that scene, but the bits I remember were we filmed at a place called Lee Court, which is somewhere I used to go to with work. I used to go to business conferences there. So, and a friend of mine had his business in some of the outbuildings. So, we did a lot of filming actually in Lee Court building, which is where the Sanditon tea room is. So you see a lot of tea room scenes. I mean, a lot of those. And also that's where the parties are with all the dancing. Um, but yeah, there's one room that was devoted for the men's gambling night.
Okay.
I was
When Tom
involved in
got
that.
himself into trouble.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I remember chatting to him. He asked me where I lived, and I said, "Well, actually, I live kind of where Sanditon is, really, because I live right close to the beach where we film. I can cycle to the beach where we film,
Mhm.
and I remember having that conversation with him. And then what happened was we got to the end of that block, and they said, keep some time free. We'll need you back in about a month's time to do more filming. We've got loads more filming coming up. And I didn't hear anything else. And I contacted them. Nothing's going on at the moment. And then I was walking this. Have you seen have you heard of this sort of book called The Salt Path? It's a couple making the film of it. And I actually featured in the film recently as well, one day's filming. This couple who walked the 630 miles of the southwest coastline.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
they've got no home. And I actually did this walk. I just started 2 and a bit years ago. Um, I went down to do some walking, and I checked to see if I was needed, and no, you're definitely not needed. And I got down, parked my car, got a bus, which is one of these places, 2 buses a day to some remote location to start walking. On the bus, phone goes off. It's like, can you get to Bristol this afternoon for a costume fitting? We need you in Sanditon tomorrow. It's like, really? Yeah, that's fine. I cancelled my accommodation, got the bus back, drove back 150 miles. And then from that point on, I was just in Sanditon all the time, right through season 2. Had a bit of medical issue going on at the end of season 2, so I kind of missed the archery day. So I was having some surgery on my shoulder.
Oh,
Um, and then I was back in for after that, and I was in right until the last day, just before Christmas, 2021.
you were in a scene, I believe that we picked you out in the church. Were you in the
I
church for
was
the wedding?
Yeah, I was in actually. I was outside for Charlotte's wedding,
Mm-hmm.
but my wife, she likes to be known in the production. She's got a big hat on, so she blocks
Yes.
my view, which
Yes.
was really frustrating. However,
We were
I was
following
actually
we were following the hat because we had seen the picture that this picture that you had sent me where you were standing next to her, and we were following that hat, and trying to get some shots of you to
yeah,
go with the video, and it was like, oh my God, that hat is just like always
and she's so short.
blocking.
I'm 6'2".
Yes.
She's about 5 foot, but this hat was like so big. But I was outside for Charlotte's wedding, and also for Lady Denham's non-eventful
Not
wedding.
wedding.
I was actually right at the very front, in where effectively the best man would stand, right at the very front pew. But I didn't really get a lot of looking in that, and it was just as well because I would have looked a bit unfaithful because they gave me another woman that day
Oh.
to be next to me, and the woman who played my wife, she would have been like, better. I think she would have loved to have been there. So to add insult, they gave me somebody else. So I was quite pleased with it wasn't too visual. Yeah,
So
it's really cool to be there. And also, with my wife. We were in the final scene, which is like the final scenes, which was the actual inside of the wedding reception, and
right.
that actually was really special. As I know, as all Sanditon fans would appreciate, to actually be one of those few people with the family. Um, Lady Susan was sort of next to us, just chatting. I was in between her and Georgiana and her husband. I think they married at that point.
Yeah,
Um,
they were.
and,
They were.
and we didn't quite know what sequence the weddings were going to go out in. And it was just really nice. It was actually just like being at a wedding reception. It was so cool. It was really cool to be in that. And then I
Uh,
was actually, which we thought was going to be the last scene, um, but I am actually also in the very last scene, which is
when she's coming out of the schoolhouse.
coming out of the school. I'm the old man walking along with a stick, with my back to the camera. Because they said it was going to be a little bit ahead, in the future.
Right.
I developed
Right.
a little bit of a kind of limp at that point because I was quite elderly.
So you really got into that character.
Yeah, I really did. I mean, it was. I mean, at various points, I had children at one stage, two grown-up children. I think one of the tea room scenes. You can't really see me, but I don't think you can see us. I was given these two gorgeous people to be my children, or they wanted to be my children. Mother wasn't around that day, so I took the children out for afternoon tea. And it was so nice. I've got a lovely picture of them with a Christmas tree because it was quite close to Christmas when we filmed that scene. And that was really cool. And then they also gave us a house on the promenade as well. So the house
Yes, you sent
with
us the photo of you standing outside of the. Yes,
I
yes.
kind of think it might have been apartments actually, but we were normally the ones standing on the doorstep.
Hmm.
Although I think Georgiana's mother did come and reside with us for a short while.
Oh,
I think
well, that's cool.
when she was looking
That's
for accommodation. But I mean, the Sanditon set, the town of Sanditon was amazing.
Now,
You were transported back.
how many of the sets did you get to visit? Because I know that they weren't all, they were they were like split up. So how many of the sets?
Yeah. So so there's the main set where the promenade is,
Hmm.
with the promenade with my house and the fisherman's cottages at the end and the beach in front. So a lot of filming was there. I also spent a lot of time in the bookshop, which was in the road behind. Um, I went to I made some notes somewhere. The weddings were held actually somewhere I went past yesterday. That was a Badminton House, where the badminton horse trials go on.
Okay.
Home of the the Duke and Duchess of Beaufort, I think, lived there. We filmed at Ston Easton House, which
Mhm.
was Hayrick Park. I don't know
Right.
if you know this, but it's actually up for sale at the moment. It's been up for sale for like a long time.
I've been trying to win the US lottery so that I can buy
Four
it. It
point
just it just hasn't happened yet.
4.95 million, I think it is. But
Million.
it's
Yeah.
come down in price a lot because it was, I think it was on the market for about 7 when we were filming. And I think it was even more than that originally. So yeah. So I
So
did
when
a,
you filmed when you
sorry.
filmed there, was that for the shooting party?
Yeah, I did more than the shooting party. We did a lot of I did an inside scene where disappointingly I wasn't actually featured, but I was with Lady Montrose at the point where I think um, there's some shock announcements. I think it's when um, Edward says about he
When he
likes
wants to court
oh what's the name? I can't remember what her name is now. You
Augusta.
know, yeah,
Yes, when he
Augusta,
wants, okay.
and it's like over my dead body sort of thing. And I'm actually there with Lady Montrose and getting reactions back from that. So, but that bit didn't get in. Obviously, lots of things don't make it into the final edition. So there
Right.
was that party scene, um, and also scenes outside the point where the conversation about grouse and do you like grouse or whatever, that was all happening outside as well. Somebody explained to us what that was all about. So I think we spent a week at Ston Easton House, and one of my memorable points from being there was it's a very very steep garden at the back. So where the point about the point where the picnic happens around the table, when I think Charlotte appear? Somebody appears, doesn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, Charlotte appears, doesn't she? And so interrupts the party. At that point in the grounds, it then goes down really steeply down to where there's a water feature. We were having a picnic lunch sitting outside at one day, and Anne Reed, Lady Denham, sort of appears. It's like, James, where are you, James? And she's calling out for James Bolam, who'd gone walkabout down to the bottom. And bless her, she was about to go down with her two lunches in her hand
Oh
down
my
this
goodness.
glossy slope. I said, oh, no, I'll go and find him. He's down the bottom there somewhere. So I went down. I think he was having 5 minutes of peace and quiet on his own. So that was a really nice scene we walked back up together. He was a lovely guy, really nice gentleman.
They
Um,
all seem the members of the main cast all seem to be absolutely lovely people, very down to earth,
yeah,
really
exactly. Yeah.
loved the project. So you
Mm.
got to meet a lot of them, it sounds like.
Yeah, quite a few. I think I was one day I was having a haircut, I think, one day, and Charlotte was in the in the same unit, and we were just chit chatting about all sorts of stuff as you do. The scene with the firework when we all come out of the house ready for the firework
Hmm.
party. I was the first person to open. I opened the door effectively to step out. So Lady Denham was outside. Oh, she's already down the steps. But all the other main cast were inside. So it was kind of like became my job to make sure everybody was in behind me. And then we opened the door and we were ready to go. So that was really nice. That was really nice. Just sort of chit chatting as for people as they were just really really friendly people, polite, lovely kind of people really. I worked with Anne Reed more recently, but um she plays a character so well. She stays in character all the time. And obviously there's Lady Denham, she's quite kind of frosty, and you don't stand any nonsense. Somebody stepped on
Yeah,
somebody
she
stepped
takes no prisoners. She and
no
nobody ever has to question what's on her mind.
somebody stepped on her dress when we were walking up the street. I think that was sort of firework do. And she turned around and said to me, "Have you stepped on my dress?" And it wasn't me, but I couldn't blame one of the people on either side of me, so I kind of went, "Sorry." But actually, when I did a drama, a very well acclaimed drama. As anyone seen, called The Sixth Commandment. It was on television recently. and she is the she's like the victim. She gets kind of killed off in that. Um, but we were outside this little kind of cafe in Bristol, uh, which is where the scene was being filmed. I was sitting down having a cup of coffee on my character, and she came to talk to the old lady who owned this cafe. He was just watching what was going on, and she was absolutely lovely to this lady. Totally different character then, but very good.
They all seem totally to be, just really down to earth and amazing human beings.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's funny because I know going into one of the party scenes, like there's a very elegant dinner party near the beginning, and that's in I think it was in season two. It's when oh, it's when it's when Charlotte gets separated from all the other cool people,
oh,
and
so it's when, right, so it's when the
Charles
Lennox
Lockhart comes.
invites all of them. And
Yeah, and
Charles
Charles
Lockhart
Lockhart
shows up.
comes in, and he's at the cool end of the table, and Charlotte's at the other end. She's at the other end, and going into that scene, it was really funny because is it Maxim who played um one of the Charlotte's
Right,
sister's love interest who
right.
actually couldn't
Carter.
swim.
He played
Oh,
Carter. Yes.
and he was saying to me, "Do you know of any good places to go out in the night in Bristol?" It's like, why are you asking me? I'm like, I'm old enough to be your dad. You wouldn't ask your dad where you want to go. And he was such a nice guy. He was really, and after that, he was really friendly because I sort of said, well, I used to work in Bristol. I can give you a few clues on good places to eat. I can't do the nightclub sort of stuff. And it was quite cool then because I think on Instagram I saw they'd all gone out somewhere and they were around the harbour side somewhere. So he'd taken on board some of my advice as to where to kind of go, which was kind of quite nice, really. It felt quite nice, to have given them a bit of sort of some tips on a night
A
out in
little bit of,
Bristol.
yeah, yeah. Sounds amazing. So what can you tell me what the process was like with the costuming?
Oh,
How long?
yummy costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally go out for costume fitting like the day before, and then they'll you hang around quite a lot of time where they're just sorting things out for you. I think my sizing is normally pretty accurate, so they normally get me things fairly quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just couple of hours maybe while I just try a few different things on. Then you normally get taken to see somebody to make sure they're happy with general overall look and the colours and the accessories they've kind of got. It's quite nice actually doing a period drama because it's all provided for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you give it all back and you get your jeans and t-shirt on and off you go.
Off
You
you
don't have to
go.
bring loads of things in with you and remember to bring things from home, etc. Yeah, so that was all pretty good. I mean, I think I had the same kind of costumes quite a lot of the time, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of then they just give you like an odd coat to wear over the top. I had some lovely costumes. I mean, the one costume I did have was I don't know if I posted a picture of it, but it's sort of like very kind of gold, shiny bits and pieces. I felt like I was like the king of the king from Chitty Chitty the Baron from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or something like that. It was just something else. And I got one costume thing. It was really funny. I mean, you might be able to look this up. Um, I think it's that same party when we were just discussing when Charles Lockhart comes in and there's the cool end and the not cool end. On the way out, um, there was a lighting rig in the way, and they didn't want to move the lighting rig. So the director said to me, so I said, I think you're the tallest in the room. So if we can stand you in the corner, we'll get you like a very tall hat. So this big, very tall top hat arrived, which actually was one of the main cast hats,
Oh my goodness.
which I shouldn't really be given, but I was given it to wear. So literally, with my height and this tall hat, I was literally covering the lighting rig
Oh my gosh.
far corner, and all the people I was like around my 3 or 4 people I was with in the group, they were just trying to make me laugh, because they thought it was obviously was funny, but I was very professional. I was not allowed to move as well. I had to stay exactly where I was positioned, and they actually put a little marker around my feet, so I couldn't move my feet forward. So just in case. So yeah, that was quite fun.
So what was it like filming under the COVID protocols?
Well, kind of got used to it, I suppose. Really, I mean, you go in a little bit earlier. You kind of you've got a whole supply of masks and things to wear, and you basically sit around waiting, for your COVID test to come, to come through and be okay. It was a bit of a pain, really. I mean, they were really good in Sanditon, looking after us in all respects, really. Um, and that included make sure we had lots of nice, colourful masks to wear and a little gentle reminders, to put your masks and things back on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you felt safe, really. That was the important thing for me at that point. And they did sort of check you out. I did a. Have you heard of Silent Witness, the BBC? It's like a crime. It's like a
I
crime
have
drama.
actually, when we looked up your bio, I have watched every single. I
You'll
signed
see
up for
me.
BritBox, and I have watched every single episode of Silent Witness, and I've seen every single episode of Father Brown, and I have
Right.
seen every single episode of Paul Doc.
Well, in Silent Witness, we filmed um, there's a scene where this guy actually, history-wise, he actually, I think he'd attacked Nikki, one of the main characters, seasons and seasons before. So she recognizes him in this court scene. Didn't really kind of realize this at the time. But yeah, we filmed a scene in London, and it was COVID time, so everything was closed in London. But I kind of got there, a mask on, um, and they said, "Put mask off." And I took my mask off. I said, "Phil, you got like facial hair. You're not supposed to have facial hair. You're supposed to be clean shaven." I said, "Well, no, no one's told me. I'm a prison
Mhm.
guard." And he said, "Well, we haven't got time for you to shave now. We haven't got the equipment, so you have to just go with it." And then about a month later, filmed the other part of the scene, which was putting the prison office, this prisoner in the prison van. First scene was taking him out in London. So a month later, film putting him in the van. And I said, I arrived with facial hair like I got today. And it's
Mhm.
like, no, no, you clean shaven. I said, but I wasn't when I took him out of the van. And no, you weren't clean shaven. So if you look at this closely, when I put him in the van, I'm clean shaven. When he comes out, I've got like 5 days worth of stubble. But Sanderson were very good like that. They checked this all over quite carefully and
They were
yeah,
good with the
definitely.
continuity of the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I just lost your audio.
Have you?
Oh, there
Don't know
you
why
go.
that
I
is.
got you back.
There you
Okay, I
go.
got you back.
And I do
So,
think actually I am actually like a resident of Sanderson properly because where I live, I'm actually right kind of where Sanderson would be. So the scene at the beginning, you see the horse and carriage going over the hill,
mhm.
and there's a church on the top with that is actually a local church right near to me. I've got a picture. I put it on the screen. Of me of my dog walking on the hill there. That literally is just down the road.
Oh my
So,
God.
and I can actually cycle to the beach where they filmed the beach scenes. I did one scene on the beach, but I didn't anywhere there. Yeah, it's really cleverly done because Uphill is at the south end of Weston-super-Mare, which is a big Victorian seaside resort, ugly looking kind of place, really. But they CGI'd out the existing place, and then Sanderson is put inside there. But the bit where I think in season one, where they'd fly over the town of Sanderson and then over the sand dunes and onto the beach, I literally live just behind, about a mile behind those sand dunes. So I
Oh
am
my
actually,
God.
I live as close as to Sanderson as you could be, really.
Okay. So you were able to see what when the sisterhood did the sand art on the beach, did you see that? Like
No,
in season well, it was after season one when everybody was campaigning to get it finished and
yeah,
completed.
yeah.
And the Sanditon Sisterhood did sand art on that beach.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was beautiful. I don't know who they hired to do it, but it was absolutely beautiful. And then they did, when it was renewed, I'm not sure who it was, if it was Red Planet or the production company or who it was, but they did it again with a thank you to the sisterhood.
Wow,
So
that's amazing. Is that is
yes,
that on is that on YouTube? Can I look that up? Is that available on YouTube?
I'm not, I can find the pictures for you
Yeah.
on Twitter, and I can send them over
Yeah,
to you so
I
that you
don't
can
think I've
see them.
seen that. I don't think I've seen that. So that is, I'm like, I walk my dog on the beach sometimes, and that's it's quite funny actually walking my dog on the beach just after we did some filming, thinking I was like working on here last week. But there we go.
So when you were there and you were filming, I know that it was in the winter, um, because the young lady I chatted with yesterday said that it was quite chilly. So, and windy. Did you run into any of that with your scenes?
The beach day was a really cold day. I only did one day on the beach, and that was a really cold day. I think other times we filmed from July right through to December, so it was a whole mix of different weathers really. I think generally we were quite lucky. I don't think we had many rainy days. Um, yeah, maybe the odd cold day, but I don't feel cold anyway, so it's probably
Oh,
more
well,
about
that's
keeping my
yeah.
more about keeping my costume kind of dry. I'd rather be cold than too hot. I mean, that's the worst thing really, especially some of the period drama costumes they give you, the big heavy things. They're not things you can take a layer off very easily sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd rather be slightly cold than.
Because
I
there
do
is a lot of layering.
Yeah, saying that, I do remember now. Actually, we were given a lot of hand warmers. Um, so yeah, it was quite good because I don't know if you know this, but we were based inside an aircraft hangar in
Okay.
Bristol, um, which is actually where the interior of the house was as well. And that was pretty cold. They had like big industrial heaters on. It was cold. I think we did comment one day. It seemed colder inside than it was outside. But there's a cohort of people who'd spend their day like sitting around the kind of the fire they provided. But I wasn't one of those people.
No, I totally understand that. So, in the house that was inside the hangar, was that Lady Denham's house or was that the Parker's house?
It's at the Parker's house. So
Okay.
I think it was Georgiana's 21st birthday party, I think.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only time I went in there, and I was in the main sort of reception room, not the dining room, the room with the sofas and the
Mm-hmm.
fireplace. And it was a beautiful house. I mean, you literally, if you've been into like a show home or well, I suppose like a period home, all fully fitted out,
Mm-hmm.
it was like that. There's no like three walls and then the fourth wall is not there. It was literally the full house. You went in through the front door. There's a dining room on the left, reception room on the right, room behind where they kind of it's almost like a sort of studio,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hallway had all sorts of little doors going off it. You wanted to just go and explore all around. I'm actually quite lucky because I volunteer in a massive big Victorian house for the National Trust, which actually does get used for filming sometimes, the period dramas. I'm used to like that, all the elegance of a big house because that was owned by one of the richest families in Britain back in Victorian times. So I'm used to that.
That's amazing. And they did an excellent job with recreating. So the artists and the set designers and everybody involved in creating all of that did an amazing job because
Mm.
everything definitely looked 100% real. Like this is really what it would look like if you had walked into one of these homes.
Oh, yeah, you just live it. You basically you do just live it. You walk along the promenade at Sanditon and you feel like you actually don't look to the left because you see the aircraft and the doors. If you just look ahead or look to the right, you literally could be in a real place. Everything feels very solid. It's hard to imagine it was built in a car park, and underneath it's just concrete down somewhere. If anything, it was a bit wobbly with the railings. You'd be a bit
Oh,
careful with the railings.
okay.
Sometimes they could yeah, don't lean on them too much. But apart from that, everything else was just very solid, very authentic. But I think that often is the case in period dramas. They make the render on the buildings is dirtied up, dirtied up in
Hmm.
some to make it look realistic. Or you'd look up and you'd see that there was smoke coming out of the chimney of one of the houses, and whether or not that actually got seen on screen, I don't know, but it makes it
I believe that you did. I believe that in one of the scenes when I think it's Georgiana and Arthur are coming out and they run into Lockhart. That first time where she is just like not having it. I believe that you can see the smoke coming out in the
yeah,
background
yeah.
of
Well,
one
that's
of
good
the
actually, because
houses.
obviously it's someone's job to make sure that works. So it's good to that it actually does get included in the filming.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really
yeah,
really
yeah.
kind of special thing to be involved in. Really, I loved
It's
it's a
amazing.
real privilege to be involved in that. Yeah, very special.
Yes. And and it sounds like you have an awful lot of memories from that production. Now, is that the longest one that you've been on?
I've done one other one that was similar with Keely. Have you heard of Keely Hawes? She's a UK actress. She's
I
been in lots
believe
of
that I
different
have.
things.
Yes.
That was set in 1946. I was playing a civil servant in the cabinet office. Um, and that was an internal. We felt was like the inside office scenes, and they were very realistic. I had a similar kind of role. Really, I was involved in every time there was an office scene. I was normally at my desk, or I was singing elsewhere. I was playing a singing civil servant. So if I wasn't at my desk, I was usually having a choir rehearsal somewhere. But yeah, that was good. I don't think it was quite as many days as Sanditon. Um, it was one drama right way through, not two
Hmm.
seasons.
Hmm. Now, and Father Brown is a period piece also. It's
Yes,
obviously not set that far back, but Father Brown is
that's 1950s. Yeah,
50s.
1950s, and I think
Yeah.
now they're doing Sister Boniface, which is a
Hmm.
1960s kind
Hmm.
of continuation. That's lovely because the Cotswolds, where I was yesterday, it's a beautiful part of the UK. I love all the old cars and things. I've got an old car you've probably
Oh,
seen on my
I've seen
Facebook
the old,
profile.
yes,
I
I've
love
seen,
cars.
I love antique cars. And I was drooling over that picture that you have on your
Yeah, she
Instagram.
is. Ruby, she is quite special, really. So I love all that, really. So I think it was in I think it was season 7 of Father Brown, and that was quite an interesting one to play. I didn't get to ride in any vehicles. I got very close to being run over by a vehicle. Um,
Oh my gosh.
it was quite funny, really, because I was playing end of the first day. Have you ever been to Horton on the Water?
No.
It's a beautiful place, very popular place. It was an August bank holiday day, very hot, um, and played this scene where I take Lady Felicia's jewels, place them in the van, and they're going off to auction. And then she realizes at the very end of that scene, which was the end of our day's filming, that her jewels have been stolen. She recognizes the van driver, and I'm thinking, I went home that evening thinking I'm a baddie. I've never played a baddie before. And the next day, went out on location with Father Brown, just me and him, and a couple of other technical people, and they had me lying face down in the side of a ditch.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, the picture which is on the iPlayer picture I've got, I don't know if it's slow, it's a bit for the episode. I've been coshed over the head, and the jewels have been stolen. And I was innocent. The baddie was the driver, and they have to put me in an ambulance. Um, but they didn't have the right sort of stretcher for the kind of ambulance they had. And the guys were practicing lifting the stretcher, putting it in the ambulance without me being on it. But when they put my 13 and a half stone, 85 kilograms of me on the stretcher, they couldn't actually lift me up and put me in the van. So they decided to put me down at the side of the van, and then the van would drive off. So I'm next to this wheel of this van that was about to go tearing off down the road. It worked fine in the end, but it was a bit hairy. The Five Grind is lovely. I love in the UK. It's an afternoon drama normally, and it's just very relaxed.
I
Pretty.
love Father Brown. I have not missed an episode of
You
Father
know,
Brown. I actually just rewatched it all when I signed up for the BritBox.
yeah.
My the new one that I'm watching right now is Vera. I started
Oh
from
right, yeah.
season one, episode one. So, and it's funny because rewatching um, Silent Witness and Father Brown, and I recognize a lot of people that I have seen in other um, British shows that I've from Sanditon. I've actually seen in Silent Witness,
Yeah, the guy who plays
Liam,
the
who played Samuel, was in Silent
oh
Witness.
right, okay. And also
Yeah.
the in the episode I was in, in Silent Witness, um, the guy who plays, is it the rector or the vicar? You know, I don't know what his name is. You know, the guy who's in his sister. He's the
Oh,
vicar.
oh, yes. I know his real name. Father Hankins, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
He was in the episode of Silent Witness I was in as well. So that was quite cool.
Yes, yes. I've seen a lot of seen a lot of them, and it's
Mm,
absolutely so much fun to recognize somebody, and they're playing the total opposite of, so it really just speaks volumes of their talent and the things that they're doing.
yeah.
So um can you tell me um if you have anything else going on that you would like to share with us that we can be on the lookout for,
Um,
that you're allowed to speak about.
oh, I don't know actually. What am I? There's not one thing I was on has just been on this week, but I don't think my scene has come up yet. I did a scene in The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which
Okay.
I think is a popular sort of teen kind of drama. Um, and that was a garden party scene, which was fun. It was just fun. It was a real fun scene to do, and I actually was paired up for dancing with the person I was paired up with in the garden party scene for Sanditon in Lady Denham's garden when they played croquet, and it ends up
Okay.
with the archery. So it was nice to be paired up with the same person. And we had a lot of fun filming that day. There's also a BBC drama called Outlaws. I don't know if you've
Okay.
seen that. It's
I've
it's about, I think it's about some people who've they're offenders on doing some community service. I believe in the storyline they find they find some money that's been hidden away in this community hall they're doing some work on, and they're doing all different things with it. So I filmed with my dog. I was a dog walker. It was one of the easiest things I did. It was literally down the road on the seafront, just promenade near
mm-hmm.
where I live. I was out for about 3 hours doing filming. Um, my dog got a creative reaction fee, and I got a fee for dog walking as well. So it was quite a lucrative day. And also, I just played. It'll be an amazing film because I enjoyed doing the walk. I said I walked 630 miles over the last 2 years on the coast path. If you look at my pictures on Instagram, I'm sure there's lots of pictures of me walking the coast path. But they're bringing a book. They're bringing a film out of the book called The Salt Path. The book is an amazing book to read. It's about a couple who lose their home, lose their business. Husband's ill, not well, and because they've got nowhere to live, they walk the coast path with a tent because it's a free way of living, for a year or so. And then I'm making a film of it with Gillian Anderson's playing the wife, and I played the father of two very badly behaved boys in a shop, and that was good fun. So if you get to see the Salt Path, I'd recommend. It'll be a great film anyway because the story is. If you read the book, it's very, yeah, I can't put a book down. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna
look
have
up
to, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
look at the book. The
Now,
book is amazing.
the only other question I have for you is, have you kept in contact with any of the other supporting actors that you get to work? Because I know you get to work with Rebel Dean. You met Rebel Dean. So
Yeah,
have you kept in contact with any of the other
yeah,
actors that you?
yeah. Yeah. Really, it's one person really. It's the lady who plays my wife, and I've met her and her husband a few times. They live on the coast path down in North Devon.
Mhm.
So one of the days when I was down walking in that section, they said, "Let us know. We'll meet up with you." and we walked several miles on the coast path together, which was really nice. Um, she's the only one from Sanditon I've kind of kept in touch with.
Hmm.
I did so I filmed. I've done some other filming with a few of the other people. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm busy. It's hard. I mean, we got a little kind of WhatsApp group, so we do chat to each other occasionally and
Hmm.
find out everyone's doing the same things. But yeah, it's just one person so far in this production I've kind of kept in touch with. We've got like a lot of similarities.
Right.
My wife and her husband, we've all got a lot of similarities and things that we do outside of filming. So that's been kind of quite nice to have as a but yeah.
That's good.
So,
That's good.
yeah,
Now, the name of the group is More Sanditon, obviously.
yeah.
Pretty self-explanatory. We're trying to get more Sanditon, be it a special, a series, a movie, whatever we can get. And I'm asking everybody that I speak with, if we were successful in getting more Sanditon, is it something that you would be interested in doing again?
I'd bite your hand off. Yeah, definitely. I think nothing nicer than doing a Christmas special. That would be so nice to a Christmas special, maybe at Hayrick Park or somewhere, and the house will be done up nicely for Christmas. The National Trust place I work at is called Tintsfield, near Bristol, and we do amazing Christmases there, with Christmas trees. Um, the volunteers dress up as Victorian characters. I play a millionaire sometimes. It's
That sounds
pretty
like fun.
fantastic.
That sounds
Well,
like a,
I've only got a small bit of facial hair. I've had big beards before, and they said I couldn't be a member of in Victorian times. You couldn't be a servant and have a beard. You had to be clean shaven. So they said you have to be one of the family rather than or a visitor rather than one of the staff. So once they used me as the butler, only because they were desperate, and they concocted a story about being very modern family to allow the butler to have facial hair. I was on loan from the house. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of fun. But yeah, I'd love to do like a special, like a Christmas special. That would be so
oh, that
Christian.
would be, I think, yeah, I think that would be a real money maker for them.
I think
Definitely.
I think one of us is gonna have to buy Hayrick Park, aren't we? We're gonna have
Yes,
to.
I told you, I keep trying to win that lottery. We'll see what happens.
Listen, it's not the prettiest of houses. And
I
apparently
would
it's
love, I would love to see it. I would love to see it in person because
yeah.
it looks like beautiful architecture
Well,
happening there.
somebody told me, yeah, but the place I volunteer at, I actually think is a prettier place than Eric Park. But apparently there's a bit of a ghostly story there as well. Apparently they
Okay.
uncovered
Hmm.
we were discussing this when we were filming. They uncovered the body of a woman who'd been bricked up in one of the bedrooms.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, if you look at the house towards the left-hand side, one of the windows, apparently, there's this ghostly thing appears. If you believe all that. Um, I looked at the plan. I don't know where you have a
Yeah,
wall
I wouldn't
on
want
top
to,
of the
yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to run into her anywhere.
that could be a negotiation on the price, couldn't it? I'd buy the house for 4.9 million, but I don't really want to go, so
Yeah,
offer a bit
yeah.
less.
And somebody would have to, like, I'd have to hire somebody to get rid of the ghost first before I could turn it into a bed and breakfast.
Exactly, yeah. There we go.
Well, Phil, thank you very much. It
Oh,
has
it's been a
been an
pleasure.
absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Oh,
And with your permission, I would like to share the video on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter account with your permission.
that's fine. Yeah, I don't think I've told you anything which is top secret. You haven't already seen, so there we go.
Awesome.
What part of the states are you in, out of interest? What?
I am on the East Coast of the United States. I am in Massachusetts.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm
And
saying this as if I know the area really well, but I don't. I've been to New York and I've been to Miami, but that's my experience so far in the States. Well,
I'm
it's
a
been lovely talking to you.
It was very lovely talking to you, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Will do.
And I'm talking to you like like you're not retired.
I don't feel retired. I'm very busy. I'm a very busy person. So there you go. Cool. Oh, lovely. You take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.